From Berlin's ghostly Tempelhof airport to Brazil's deserted high-speed railways, uncover the stories of forgotten dreams and unfinished ambitions in these haunting locations. Hit that like and subscribe button, and let's begin. Let's start with case number 1, the Berlin Tempelhof airport in Germany. Walking through Tempelhof feels like going back in time. The eerily quiet atmosphere in this vast area is intriguing and scary at the same time. Some believe one can still sense yesterday's memories hanging around its hallways. The massive structure known as Berlin Tempelhof Airport was built in 1941. Nevertheless, it played a key role during World War II and the following Berlin airlift between 1948 and 1949, when it was an essential link for those living in West Berlin. Finished in 1941 during the Nazi era, it was constructed as a symbol of power. Following the conflict, it retained its civilian aviation status right up until its shutting down due to economic difficulties alongside the birth of the Berlin-Brandenburg Airport in 2008. Nonetheless, it was closed in 2008 after having functioned for years during the Berlin airlift, which extended up until 1949. Tempelhof's closure ended one epoch. Today, it looks like a ghostly, quiet, vast expanse centered on Tempelhof Airport. A huge terminal that once thronged with people in motion now stands silent, playing back the historic audio files. A visit to the interior parts of Tempelhof is like walking in the middle of a preserved moment in time. Empty hallways continue sharply turning, thereby leading down towards dead check-in desks that reminisce about many individuals who stood in their ways or stopped over here before going abroad. It's deteriorating. Despite this historical importance, it now lies deserted, with empty spaces occupying its large expanse and runways left unattended in an eerie mode. Case number 2, the Kowloon Station development in Hong Kong. The Kowloon Station development is a clear-cut instance of how things can get out of hand when a big dream is not properly thought through. It calls for reflection and encourages an eyesore against a background of prosperity in Hong Kong today. There was a time when Kowloon Station development in Hong Kong was thought of as a shining star surrounded by business and comfort. The project, which aimed to represent the days to come in city building, was established in one of the most congested areas globally. Nevertheless, the project was all stopped at once, even though it was seen to be quite something on its feet, but it had not yet been completed, and what is left now on the site is like only ghostly echoes. Great enthusiasm marked the commencement of the Kowloon Station development, which anticipated sleek skyscrapers, high-end shopping centers, and advanced transportation facilities as part of its features. The city expected that this would set a high mark that could be emulated by other developments in Hong Kong, all while retaining and improving the existing ones at Kowloon Station to benefit from it in terms of enhanced infrastructure. However, this utopian idea appeared to be a mirage owing to economic challenges that had not been anticipated and uncontrollable circumstances that set back its realization. The site of the Kowloon Station development is made more dreadful by the shadows created by the uncompleted buildings because the sun is setting down. It is like the epitome of shattered hopes and unmet dreams, that is the Kowloon Station development. It's a suspenseful story about Kowloon Station development. Case number 3, the high-speed rail link in Brazil. A meteoric project that would have changed the mode of transportation in the country was fantasized about as a high-speed rail link for Brazil. It was meant to link Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo among the most paramount cities in Brazil. Hence, it was anticipated that the travel time would be drastically shorter, boosting the economy. Nonetheless, this grand scheme is now defunct and left only as a deserted thought that is hidden in secrecy and covered with plants. Early in the 2010s, the project that promised state-of-the-art infrastructure, job opportunities, and a transport overhaul was launched. There were advances in the initial stages, such as laying portions of tracks and beginning construction on some stations. However, the project began experiencing problems, though they were not seen at the time. Corruption allegations made sure that nothing much started with the project. By 2013, some work had been done on it in a painstakingly slow manner, and nothing much had been achieved until it eventually came to a halt in 2016. The railway line is not in use now as it was not completed due to ongoing construction problems. The rails, which were supposed to carry high-speed trains, are now rusted and covered with weeds. The construction equipment has been left behind and is gradually falling apart. Stations that had previously been pictured as places with a lot of movement going on now stand empty and cause echoes with silence. Case number 4, the City of Dreams Mediterranean, Cyprus. With the promise of thousands of jobs, the announcement of this project came with a fanfare of excitement and expectation that it would boost the local economy significantly. Construction started in earnest, and multiple phases with grand architectural designs to match any global destination were part of the grand plan. As the years went by, the project encountered a lot of problems. Slow progress was caused due to financial troubles, legal disputes, and environmental concerns, which led to a halt. Half-finished buildings and deserted equipment characterized the construction site around the mid-2020s, as we have seen. Presently, strolling the forsaken compound is a bizarre experience. The gigantic skyscrapers that were supposed to be the location of top-class hotels and dwellings are now faceless in the Mediterranean Sea. The construction sites that used to be busy are now mute, cranes are stationary, and building materials are scattered all over. The story of the City of Dreams Mediterranean acts as a cautionary tale, showing the risk and challenges of such projects. People are made to think of the social and economic and environmental implications of such massive activities in society. The project was supposed to be built for $8 billion and would have some of the greatest casinos in the world, luxury shopping centers, places of entertainment, and extravagant hotels. What is left now is just a scary memory of great ambition. Case number 5. The new South China Mall in China. Estimated costs $1.3 billion. This is the new South China Mall, which is a new shopping destination with 9.6 million square feet that cost $1.3 billion to build. It was capable of holding tens of thousands of stores. Therefore, it was even built with a roller coaster inside the mall, and there's even a replica of the Great Canal in Venice. When it opened in 2005, the concept of fusing traditional shopping with tourism was floated. The occasion aimed to draw millions of people and transform the Chinese retail sector. The mall was bound to fail though because it was very big. This was because there were very few people to occupy it, yet there were a lot of space. Therefore, it was difficult to keep the infrastructure in shape. As a result, the cost of maintaining this mall increased rapidly, thus turning the beautiful dream of a busy and successful business center into a nightmare. Despite its magnificence, the new South China Mall has struggled to draw either customers or tenants since its opening. There are long, broad hallways filled with vacant store spaces that lack the activity the building designers had in mind when it was created. And that concludes our broken tale of the new South China Mall. Wandering through these abandoned ones? What is your opinion of this deserted megaproject? Hold your breath to hear about the last 2 abandoned places in the series. Case number 6. The Shell Caltrava project in Chicago, USA. Santiago Caltrava, a famous architect, visualized the 2,000-foot tall skyscraper known as the Chicago Spire, which was to be the highest building in the Western Hemisphere. It was meant to cost $4 billion, making it a magnificent new addition to the Chicago skyline that many people dreamed of, including citizens and architects, because of its twisted, futuristic look. In 2005, there was enormous enthusiasm for the project, which figures to ensure as a classy house on the site that would command an astonishing new view of Lake Michigan. It was commenced in 2007 when the first tier was dug out and a foundation pit so deep it may end up being a huge leap was started being excavated. Making this idea a reality, nevertheless, was not without its challenges. The 2008 global financial crisis severely impacted company finances, depriving it of necessary assistance to operate. As a result, the most intriguing thing that has been observed so far is a peculiar large hole in the earth where a significant amount of activity takes place within the city limits. It's amazing and disappointing to see the site of the Shell Caltrava project. It is a testament to a fate that unfulfilled ambition left incomplete lingers in the memories of its citizens. The remediated place is a target for city wanderers and street copyists who decorate the fences around the ditch. For people from that area, it is a combination of awe and sorrow. And the scariest case, number 7, the Hashima Island in Japan. Formerly known as Gukanjima for its battleship-shaped design, Hashima Island used to be a busy coal mine site. In 1890, Mitsubishi Corporation bought the island, turning it into a modern township comprising high-rise concrete structures like buildings and colleges, among others. This tiny 16-acre piece was home to more than 5,000 inhabitants at its best moment. The heyday of Hashima Island was short-lived. When Japan moved from coal to oil in the 1960s, the country's demand for coal decreased. By 1974, the mines were closed, and residents abruptly abandoned the island. Although the island has been abandoned for some time, it has not been used in the intervening years. The island's desolate surroundings and dilapidated structures evoke an unsettling atmosphere. It does not surprise, therefore, that this place has been a fascination for filmmakers, including urban explorers, and even shooting a site for the James Bond movie Skyfall. Human achievements are transient, and Hiroshima Island is an iconic symbol of this fact, as it's a desolate place that was once lively before turning into remnants of the past, reflected in every corner. Share your thoughts about these scary abandoned megaprojects in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Have you ever thought about what would happen if everyone lived in the same building? Up next, we're exploring the chances of everyone living under the same roof, so stay tuned.